It's our Monday, couple of days, or in fact about one day after we did that intensive group SFT tapping event, create a movement for world peace. There were about 124 taps, took about an hour and a half to get through them. It was a pretty intensive affair. We're absolutely wasted, and we thought, what are we going to do today other than doing video production and recording and various other things? And we decided to do...
We're at our favorite camping spot for the day.
So we're having just a little day trip. It's a little bit too cold overnight, particularly with the rogs and the rog cat. But we'll show you how we've set things up, and we're just going to have a barbecue picnic. So I've just set up the fire, and yeah.
We're sitting in the hammock right now. See, we're swinging, and I'm talking to the gum trees. We got Rog Cat in his own little house, his own little campsite.
Yep.
And the puppies are latched to different trees, and Maisie is like hanging out in the backseat of the car, and she thinks she's got one over on everyone because she gets the luxury of the backseat. It's really cute.
Any downside about this particular spot, I'll show you around in a second, but is that we have a road that runs behind us. So basically this is public land that's off the road. My sense is that, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, it used to be, might have been privately owned and then donated to the local council just to preserve as a space where people can hang out. So I would say it's about 50, 60 acres of just land. It's beyond, it's right next to a little river. But unfortunately, the only downside is that the road behind us does get a little bit of traffic even at night.
It's so funny because I love my Thunderbox. And do you want to tell them what my Thunderbox is?
The Thunderbox is where Jen gets to do thunders when she's doing number ones and twos.
But it's open, so the road is far away, but I imagine that someone is going to get a shock if they look over this way and they see me sitting on my Thunderbox.
Yes. Anyway, so we won't do too much. So I'll take you for a little bit of a walk around. Jen, you're just going to swing around in the swing?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a nap here in the hammock, which is my cathedral.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, can you show them a lot of the gums and the buttercups and the water?
Well, that's our car. Unfortunately, we don't have a four-wheel drive or a utility ute, or pickup truck, whatever you guys call it, wherever you are in the world. But so we, whatever we do set up for camp just needs to pack down real small. So we're working towards getting an off-road vehicle so we can go more places. But we're just sitting underneath this gum tree, and the sun's right there, so we're going to get...
And get this guy too. Yeah.
This is another gum tree, so I'll just show you what's going on here. We've set up Jen's hammock between two of the gum trees. So that's the little hammock. Jen loves her little hammock, and that's the other side of it on that little gum tree, and she's a beauty. I think that one is a she, and we've got gums all over the place. This whole area, this is what I was saying, it's like I think it's about 50 or 60 acres, just fairly open land, growing grass, various other things. Anyone that gets onto any of our live stream events will recognize this scene as being the field scene in the 5-minute countdown just after we've gone live. So that's kind of what that is. Last year I recorded a sunrise scene, got up nice and early. This is our little fire pit. It's a stainless steel flat pack, so everything disconnects, but it's really sturdy and rigid, and I've just chopped up some firewood. We've got Merle in the background who's whinging a little bit, so we're going to light up that fire. We're going to cook up some gorgeous steaks, Scotch fillet steaks. Here is little Milton, although he's a bit shy, he doesn't want to go on camera today. But the thing is, we've also got Rogcat. Hello, Rogcat. What are you hiding behind the reeds? So we don't really want to let Rogcat run loose for now. We've just got a simple little desk or a table set up when we do our full overnight camps. We've got a canopy and a tent and various other things, so this is just an afternoon picnic really. And just want to walk you around. The interesting thing is that I think the locals know about this place, but it's not very obvious how to get here from the road. So my guess is most people just drive past fairly ignorant that it's here. But there's a stream that runs just in this little valley area, and everything's overgrown. Last time when we were here, it was not as overgrown, but we've got these nice little daisies, wildflowers coming up. Here's the little track that goes down to the stream. Haven't checked it out yet since we've been here. We only just got here, just set up the campfire and then set up Jen's hammock. So anyone that does go on our live streams will recognize this scene as well. This is where I shot that slow-mo delay or long exposure river stream that I use in another version of the 5-minute countdown for our live streams. So that's where that was. And now apparently back in the day, this stream used to run down from all the mountains, obviously, and when it flooded, it sent down a whole lot of gold nuggets. So back in the day, 100 years ago or thereabouts, this area was heavily mined and sluiced and various other things. But the interesting thing is I'm just having a look at the stream at the moment, and I think you guys could probably see it as well on the camera. There's a lot of sand and very fine gravel that's come down, so usually this is as rocky as excuse me, there's a lot of pollen in the air. But the bottom of the stream has gone really sandy, which is interesting. So Jen loves to just hang out in the, see how there's this little sort of sandbanks, it's almost like a little beach area. That's really weird. Actually, it's pretty cool for us because we can just sort of sit on the sandy bits rather than having jagged rocks shoved up our rear end, which sometimes is not the prettiest thing to imagine. And it runs down. Apparently we have trout in here, so we do get some trout fishermen every now and then we've got sort of hills in the background, lots of trees. I haven't done a lot of exploring on that side. It's heavily overgrown, so it's a little bit hard to traverse, and that's looking back upstream, because usually this stream is so rocky and really jagged rocky. It has been very hard to walk up the stream. So I pity all the fly fishermen and trout fishermen that need to walk upstream. They must have some wet weather boots and various other things. Maybe someone can tell us in the comments how you, if you're a fly fisherman or fisher person, how you do it. But I tried it with flip-flops on, and that was just a no-go, and without any shoes on, it was just too hard. You can see all the rocks in the background. We did get some heavy rain some time back, so and even about 5 or 6 days ago we had a reasonable chunk of rain. So I'm actually interested that the river is not, or the stream isn't flowing even more. There's just another little aspect of it, so that's all fun. And this little path, there's a little path that kind of, well, it's not really a path, it's heavily overgrown. I won't take you down there because I'm going to get jagged up in lots of these guys. I'll show you what these are. So in about a month and a half to 2 months time, see all these little flowers? This here is a blackberry bush, and in about a month and a half to 2 months there's going to be millions and millions of blackberries all over here, and so we go harvesting. But of course they're very thorny, the stems are very thorny, and so to get to the blackberries can be quite painful, actually. Yeah, let's just back up our little pathway. We were actually contemplating coming for a 2-night camp tomorrow, but it's just going to be just a little too cold overnight. Jen doesn't really like the cold. I don't mind it that much, but kind of a little bit used to it. Going camping out in the mountains, done plenty of it. I'm not exactly what you would call a fair weather camper, so basically my philosophy is kit yourself out for whatever you can expect, and that's what I do. There's a huge limb from this gum tree. Look at that, what a great specimen. Gave up some of its limbs, which it does from time to time. So here it is, and next time we come here, unless someone else gets into it, I'm going to get the chainsaw, thank the gum for its contribution, and this is going to keep us warm at night. And for all of our cooking, here's another large limb that came down over the winter months. This is the first time we've been back since last summer. It does get quite cold here during winter, a little bit wet as well. This little area here, just this little flat area, is where we camp sometimes. A bit of this, I'd call this our overflow campsite. So every now and then we do get other campers. I don't know if you can see in the background, the car in the background, that's where we are today. So that's kind of one camp spot that we use. I mean, there's another great little spot over here. I mean, there's plenty of spots to go, but this, I would call this our overflow camp site. And the reason why we like it is because a lot of people don't think to come here. And it's just under the trees. There's some nice trees. So here's some pretty big trees, but they're not that large and foreboding that there's a risk of limbs dropping on us overnight, or in the wind. So the trees, I mean, of course nothing's without no risk, but if you want the shade, then you're going to have to deal with the possibility of limbs dropping. But this little pile of wood here is what we left here actually last year, and it's interesting that it's still here. There's a little bit more. We found a spot just down there. There are lots of limbs that are dropped, so I had to sort of get my way. It was pretty rough and rugged, but with a chainsaw, and cut a lot of the fallen limbs, and that's what we used a couple of times while we were camping here. So it was a great source of firewood for us. It's actually quite special when at night, you're just sitting around the campfire after dark, or even as the sun goes down. Pretty special moment. And I've got Jen and the dogs, and now the rog cat. So you can hear all the trucks going past. They're all cattle trucks, that's why they make so much noise. It's a bit of a cattle farming area. Other grazings, sheep farming, cattle farming. And anyway, so yeah, we sit around the campfire at night and listen to some music. Jen often sings, and I like to suck on a beer or two, which is an Australian thing to do, I think. And after cooking dinner on the fire, just hang out until it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and the stars are all out, and then it starts getting a little bit moisture in the dew, and when you start feeling the dew on you, that's roughly a pretty good indication that it's time to hit the sack, so to speak. So that's kind of what we do. And then when we do camp here for 2-3 days, we bring all our work here So last year I was writing a book, Igniting Universal Empowerment, which actually we're going to have to republish that book because we've changed a bit of branding and a little bit of messaging. But yeah, last year while we were sitting here, I just spent the whole time writing books. So yeah. Anyway, let's see what Jen's up to. Anyway, so I gave everyone a bit of a walk around. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Gotta move over. Oh my god, Mel is, I think he might be getting bored. What do you reckon? Should we risk it and get them off the leash and see if they'll stay with us?
It was just because Daddy was gone. They don't want to be left abandoned with Mommy.
Well,
I'll
quite
go
often
do-
when you go, they go nuts.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Anyway, a little bit of a show and tell. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Look forward to catching you next time. Bye for now.
Bye for now.